It really depends on what a student wants to do. If you want to do research, if you want to go on to graduate school, then having some experience with that as an undergraduate is critical for lots of reasons. It's going to help build up the skills. It's going to make you more marketable to graduate schools and things like that. It's going to let you know what it's really like in some ways to be a researcher, decide if that's really what you want to do or not. But I think some students tend to look at doing research as undergraduate, it's just like a resume filler.
Right.
And in that case, I don't think it's very useful. There's probably other things that are going to be more useful to do that aren't research. If you're not thinking about something like research as a career farther on, or going to graduate school to do something else, right? It really depends. It seems to me, based on students, my students and my teaching assistants and mentors, that getting into graduate school seems like it's gotten a lot more competitive than it used to be.
Right.
So I've had a few different undergrads who've mentored for my class, who've had significant research experience, not be able to get into graduate school,
Right.
which was shocking to me. I mean, I wrote letters of recommendation to them that said that they could basically walk on water because they worked for me. They were great employees, mentors, etc. And it was very hard for them to get into graduate school. It seems like it's gotten more competitive. I think there are more students doing research and being involved in research, not just here at UT, but lots of places.
Right.
And in some ways, it's kind of raised the bar. So now, just doing research isn't enough, unfortunately. It's gotten a little bit crazy. Let me kind of summarize. If students interested in research, interested in science, interested in seeing what science is really like, then they should definitely look into doing some research as an undergraduate. It's a wonderful, amazing experience. It sort of takes the curtain back, and you can see how we really understand the way the world works, as opposed to just reading about it in a textbook, because it's all sort of sterilized.
Yeah.
Right? You just hear about successes. You just hear about here's what we know.
Yeah.
Right? But to experience what it's like to really try to make a discovery, I think that's an incredibly valuable experience. One of the things that we've done here at UT is try to get more undergrads to have that experience. We've got this FRI and other programs that try to get students to have that real experience.
Right. So what would you say is the best way to get that experience if an undergraduate is seeking it? Would it be how they go about getting in the FRI program or anything like that?
Well, I mean, so here at UT we do have programs. So the FRI, you guys are all out of luck already because you have to apply before you got here. But they've got this thing called there's this Advanced Research Initiative. This is meeting about this every day that you can apply for. The deadline's coming up, in May. So there are some other programs. There's Surge, which helps get students involved in research. But aside from some of these programs we have, the other thing you do is literally just go knock on doors. Right? No one knocks on doors anymore. You can start with an email, right? But you can start by you can find a professor who you'd like to do some research with, and you can find out when their office hours are, and you just go by and talk to them, right? I mean, it's basically about selling yourself and sort of convincing that person that it's worth their time and effort to have you working in their lab. And it's a lot of no's in a lot of cases, right? I mean, you've got to sort of find somebody not only who's interested, but who has the time and space and resources. You could go see a professor who, has a big deadline looming. A grant application or something, or a paper they're trying to finish, and you come in and they're thinking in their head I can't handle one more thing. Right? The student seems amazing, but it's just not going to happen right now. Right? So it's a timing issue in some cases. It's a lot of talking to people, building up that network, and having some of that pan out in some way where you can find something that you're interested in and decide to get matched with that person who has the time and space and everything else, and you have the interest in having them get matched up.